This is Vampire Hulkman. My name is Steven, and welcome to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video. Been a little bit busy. You know, the whole in-between jobs thing, trying to land something to make money, because clearly, right as of right now, YouTube's not paying me. Maybe in the future one day that'll change, but yeah, for right now, trying to find work. I am working for a company called Grubhub, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a pretty much an app that you can download on your, it doesn't matter what you have, honestly, Apple products, Androids, doesn't matter, but it's an app you can download either on the Play Store or the App Store for iPhones, and once you download it, you put in your information, stuff like that, and you can download your, no, sorry, what I was saying before my mind was just like, you know what, let's shut this shit down and not work. Once you download the app, you put in your information, then you can order food. So when you order your food, someone like me goes and picks it up, drops it off at the house, boom, move on to the next thing. You don't have to drive anywhere to get your food. I think it's very convenient, and it's cool because you get to drive around different parts of the city that you live in, and you don't know that certain things exist, like certain restaurants or certain different roads or whatever, that you might enjoy, that you never really knew were there until you start getting out there and just driving. So it's pretty cool. There's some restaurants that I've seen, or that I picked food up from that I never knew existed, but I now want to try. So it's not only a means of making like a side income, or making it your full-time thing, which is what I've kind of been doing, to try and pick up the slack as far as not having a job is concerned. So but it is very cool. Like I said, you get to go to new places, find new things, just explore a little bit more, as if and as opposed to just staying at home and thinking, hey, what do you want to eat? I don't know, let's eat the same basic shit that we eat all the time. I'm not that type of person. So like I said, has been really cool. Wish it paid a little bit more, but that's just me, I guess. But it's probably not just me, it's probably a lot of people. And I do know that the pay varies based on what city that you're in. So, obviously I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I live in Concord, which is like 15-20 minutes outside of it. But a little bit of a pull so I can get away from these assholes. Anyways, so yeah, it's been cool. Still currently looking for something different. Shit, I need to be in that lane. What am I doing? So currently, right now, I am going to meet up with one of my buddies who let me borrow his GoPro, which I never used. Sorry, Brandon. I never used because I thought that editing 2 cameras worth of footage would have been a little bit too much for me, seeing as how I am still kind of brand new to this. Still figuring things out. I don't have everything down yet, obviously, but I think that I should just stick to one camera as of right now. I do really appreciate the fact that he let me borrow his camera just free and clear, with no questions asked. I thought that was really cool of him, especially since he's had problems in the past. Like, he had I believe it was a similar camera to the one that he let me borrow, which is right here, by the way. It's the same thing that I have. It's a GoPro Hero Session, So it's not like I don't know how to operate it. You know, it's still the same concept. It's just, like I said, I think it would have been a little bit too confusing for me as a beginner. So, but like I said, really cool of him to let me just do that. Even though I didn't use it, like I said, I'm sorry. However, maybe a little bit later on down the road, either I'll buy another camera for myself, or he'll, you know, let me borrow it again, and you know, maybe get some better footage, which I understand, you know, a basic concept of how it would work, but I don't know. I just think that the footage, me trying to piece it together, I think it would just end up like shit, end up looking like shit, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll tinker with it later on when I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. Oh, green light. I will not let a fucking Ford Explorer pass me the fuck up. Bye. Little tire chirp. Hell yeah. I love my little car. Gets up to speed so quick. Alright, it's not super fast, but still, it is what it is. And I know that I can outrun certain things, and I know my limitations. You know, I'm not gonna be one of those fucking ricer boys that, yeah, I said it, ricer boy. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be that guy that's just like, yeah, my car's fast as fuck, bro. You know, all I've done is just paint it, and it's so much weight reduction, and you know, I'm out here beating Lambos and fucking Ferraris, bro. Like, no one can touch me. That's not me. I will never be that guy until I know I have something that's that fast. So, yeah, not happening. Sorry about it. Sorry, not sorry. I think you guys are ridiculous. You know, Hondas are so fast. So, you know, a lot of people don't know it, but Hondas are so fast. No, they're, okay, I can't say no, they're not, because there are a lot of Hondas out there that, you know, dudes like Boosted Boys, their shit is really fast, and it's not shit. It's actually a pretty decent build, more than pretty decent. I think it's really cool, and I'm not a Honda guy. Boosted Boys has kind of changed my mind as far as Hondas are concerned, which is impressive, because and I know there's been a lot of you know, stuff on 1320 Video, which, shout out to those guys. Those are my favorite guys in the whole wide fucking world. But you know, I've seen the builds on there, or not the builds, but like after everything's all said and done, you know, well, I got a fucking boosted, you know, B20 whatever the fuck block, and it's making like 700 horsepower. That's all fine and dandy, but until I see like what all goes into it, I'm not really impressed, and I don't know if that's just me, but you know, it is what it is. But neither here nor there. Like I said, Boosted Boys has really changed my mind about Hondas, and I am very impressed on how, you know, how an engine that's so small can produce some like numbers that are so big. And I know that for a while, until the Ferrari took that title away, the what is it, the S2000, I believe it was, had the record for most horsepower per liter or something. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure that's true, and I believe it was, I don't remember exactly what Ferrari it was, but if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure it was the 458 Italia. Which, if it took someone like Ferrari to take a record from Honda, that's impressive. So
55, then keep right at the fork.
Thank you for that. Alright. Yeah, so had a brain fart, realized, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, because I'm supposed to be meeting him at Carolina Mall, and I don't go there very often, so I had no idea where the fuck I was going. So I realized...
Fork.
Fork? Oh, fuck you, shut up. Okay, I'm talking. Anyways, what I was saying was, had a brain fart, didn't, you know, I realized I didn't know where the fuck I was going.
73 East.
73 East.
Oh, God, I hate traffic. It's so stressful. I mean, I'm gonna have to wait until I get there to see what the circumstances are, but I'm pretty sure that Brandon is driving a Power Stroke diesel. Yeah, Power Stroke. But if he is by himself, and he is not with his mom or dad or whoever's vehicle it is, I don't even know if it's theirs or his. I'm not too sure. But if he is there by himself, I'm gonna try and see if I can race him in this car, because like I said, not a little ricer boy, not a ricer boy, but I just like to race random shit and see what happens. You know, I'm not like, oh yeah, my shit's so fast. I just like to see, you know, what happens. Pretty much why I called out Cody, which still hasn't happened, by the way, because here's the thing. His clutch broke. Again. Come on, Cody. Come on. Anyways, so yeah, he's got to fix his clutch, and to my surprise, dude put a 411 gear in his rear end, so it's gonna be much faster now. And I'm still very, very curious to see what's gonna happen with that race. You know, obviously in Mexico, but and we're not driving. We're gonna let two random stick drivers from Mexico drive our cars, and you know, whatever happens, happens. But so I'm still waiting to organize that whole, you know, little race, and it has now gotten more interesting because, like I said, he put 411 gears in his rear end, which means, wah! Yeah, that. But he still has shit tires, so it doesn't matter how fast his rear end is going to spin, his tires are going to spin more. So until he gets better tires, I still think I'll have a small advantage at least, as long as we're not in the rain, because holy shit, will this car spin some motherfucking tires in the rain. No problem. I mean, it'll kind of spin tires on the drive, but it is not that fast, so yeah. Okay, we are almost here, at least from what I can see. Yep. Okay. It is up there on the right. Also,
Turn right.
bitch, I'm not even about to play with you right now.
Then turn left.
Okay, your fucking directions are very vague, Miss GPS. Thank you for your input, you little bitch. Alrighty. Oh, Starbucks.
Country Club Drive northeast, then turn right. Feet, your destination will be on the right.
Okay, yeah, time for you to go. Bye. Okay, so he said white Power Stroke with stacks in the back. So that's what I'm looking for. Let me get my phone back in my pocket. Alright, so he said over near JCPenney. And I don't see his power joke anywhere. Unless I'm on the wrong side. Oh, never mind. I see it. I found it. Yeah, he was with his dad. And, pretty sure I'm not about to race his dad. Yeah, hi there. There's lanes. You should probably use them, you fucking idiot. Anyways. So yeah, I'm not about to race this dude's dad. It's a Ford F-250 V10 I guess Power Stroke. I didn't even know that Ford made a V10. That's just about how much I know about Ford. So yeah, now question is, how the fuck did I get out of here? I think I may have found my way out. It's gonna be, oh, no, wrong way. Okay, an update on the car. My car, obviously. Update on my car. If you guys saw in the last video, if you didn't, I'll post a link somewhere. It'll be somewhere. Or I'll just have it at the end of the video, and you can pick which video you want to watch. But, okay, update on the car. Like I said, if you saw in the last video, I washed and, you know, waxed and polished and buffed and all that good shit. Like, I did that to the outside of the car. It looked really good. The only thing that, to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, does not look good is the hood. The hood, I did probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 months ago, probably. I don't know, but I plasti dipped the hood, and it was my first time doing it. You know, when I did it, I was like, yeah, this looks super good, because it was fresh, but it was also tiger striped, really, really bad. And if you don't know what that means, basically what it means is, if you're, and I used a rattle can. If you use a rattle can, usually, you know, if you do like a really professional looking job, it means you've been doing it quite some time, for quite some time. That, like I said, my first time doing it, it didn't overlap very well. I kind of just sprayed it on there and was like, yeah, hopefully it's just black all the way across. It's not. It is, but it's like black, grayish black, black, grayish black. And what overlap means is, when you spray about 50% over what you, or I'm doing this like, yeah, I can see it, you can't. If you spray, next time you spray 50% overlap, spraying what you just, you know, laid down, and then you move on to the next one, 50%, 50%, 50%. Doing it with a rattle can, it's kind of harder to do, because how wide it sprays is not very much, because it is out of a rattle can. And I know there's things out there that can kind of fix that. Yeah, no, sorry lady, you're not getting in front of me. Not today. And I know they sell kits and stuff like that, to where you know, hook it up to like a little compressor type thing, and you get a wider fan. I'm not gonna do that, because it's kind of coming up a little bit, and it's, like I said, it's tiger stripes real bad. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I'm going to peel it up, and I know it's gonna suck, because it's probably gonna come up in like a million pieces, but I'm going to peel it up, and then the car is silver, obviously, but the hood was the only thing that looked really bad, in my opinion. And the reason why it looks so bad is because the clear coat is just garbage, absolute garbage. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna wet sand it down, you know, kind of blend it a little better, and then I'm gonna spray a new layer of clear coat over it, and make it look better. This is the wrong fucking way, I think. Maybe not, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna redo the clear coat, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna let it do its thing and cure for however long it needs to, and then I am going to try my hand at wrapping it, vinyl wrapping it. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna go with either black or like a carbon fiber looking black or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna try my hand at that and see how that goes. If I like it, the next step for me there is to vinyl wrap the roof the same color or pattern or whatever the fuck I do. I'm just gonna get in this lane because this road is janky anyways. I he's pulling me this way. So, like I said, I'm gonna vinyl wrap it if I like it and it turns out good. I'm gonna do the hood. I'm gonna do the A-pillars, and then the door as well, or not the whole door, but the top part of the door. And then I'm gonna do the trunk, the whole trunk, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do about the little spoiler thing. I need to redo my lights, my tail lights, because as of right now, they're super dark. So right now, I mean, I don't have my lights on, but when I hit the brake, even still, I'm pretty sure whoever's behind me cannot see that shit, and they have to judge how, when your car's gonna slow down by your brakes, obviously, or else they wouldn't fucking be there. So I think I'm gonna pull that off and tint them in a different style to where it's not so dark. I think it looks cool, but it's not functional. Like it's not efficient, and it's dangerous. It really is. But yeah, that's the updates as far as the car looks are concerned. Wheels and tires. Like I said, I just got new tires, and I don't really want to put new tires on it. But I want new wheels. I don't want these little 14-inch wheels anymore, because I don't like the way they look. And I also, speaking of tinting, pro tint, I don't like the way that my wheels look, and I just want to go with something different. Now, whether I'm going to swap them out for like a Z24 style wheel, I'm not sure. I might not. There's other options out there, and I kind of want to weigh those options before I just go do something like that. Jesus Christ, this thing is huge. Hang on. Fucking truck is right now. Look how big those tires are, how tall he is off the ground. This dude is like 100% American, especially because he's driving a Chevy. Yes, I am biased. Before, I don't know which wheels I'll be choosing, and it also has to be very budget friendly for me, because like I said before, not really making ends meet at the moment. So this will be something a little bit later, but I was hanging out with my buddy Josh the other night, and he said that it's better to pick your wheel and tire setup before you lower your car, because trying to find a set of wheels and tires that will work for you if your car is lowered is a little bit harder to do. Instead of, on the flip side, if you just pick your wheels and tires and plan your suspension setup around your wheels and tires, it makes things a whole lot easier. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take his advice on that, which is great advice, and I've never really thought about it like that, but coming from a guy that has experience with that, he used to have I believe it was an old GMC Jimmy. It was white, super clean. It was bagged in the front. It was going to get a V8 swap. Never really came to fruition. However, he is building a Ventura, a Pontiac Ventura. Not real sure on what year it is. I'd have to ask him. But the V8 that was going, and he had the V8 and everything. But the V8 that he did have, that was going to go into his Jimmy. Eventually, he was able to buy back from the guy that had it. So now that V8 is going into his Ventura. So, what are the odds of that? And I think that's pretty cool. And he's got a lot of that stuff pre-planned out. He's got a lot of the parts for it. He's got a lot of parts ordered. And I think it's just all around, it's going to be a real nasty build. Like, I think it's going to be really cool. I did ask him, I said, why don't you just LS swap it and call it a day? And thinking on it now, he wants an old 350 that, with new, like, modern technology, because back in the day, you couldn't just go swap all this shit that we have now onto your 350 out of your truck or whatever it was in. You were kind of limited back in the day, and now you have so many more options. And I'm like, I feel like it's a lot cheaper to go the modding a 350 route than it is to go and LS swap something and have to, you know, source all the parts for it and stuff just to make it work in an older application. Aside from all that, you know, it's just going to be a really cool build, and I can't wait to see it when it's done. If you guys would like to see any holy shit, why are you driving so slow? That almost crashed. That would have sucked, assholes. Come on. Any fuckers are going to block me in? Fuck at this. Anyways, so yeah, if you guys would like to see any you know, pictures of that or any, you know, video updates on that, let me know. Let me know in the comments any questions that you may have. I mean, I can ask him, you know, I can get him on the channel, I'm sure. You know, he'd probably be really cool with that, especially, you know, documenting his build. You know, I think that it would be a fantastic idea. Ooh, I gotta slow down, there's some police. But yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea. I think that would be really cool footage. So yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want to see as far as that's concerned, and I'll see what I can do about that. Back to the matter at hand. I've already gotten into kind of what I want to go for as far as looks are concerned for this car. Kind of, and God, I could not deal with that. Those tall ass tires and that. Couldn't do that. Fuck that. Anyways, yeah. Kind of what I want to go for is just something sleek that's not super ricey. That's not me, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah. As far as looks are concerned, very subtle. You know, tastefully done. That's just like that's how I like to do things. And if there is wind noise, I am sorry. I will be done with my cigarette very shortly. Now, to the bigger point, performance. What I want to do performance-wise. And I also discussed this with my buddy Josh the other day as well, and you know, we've been kind of going back and forth on it, and he's been giving me some pointers here and there, and me personally, I've never swapped an engine. I've never done anything like as far as that big of an undertaking is concerned. I've never done it, which worries me. You know, price-wise, it's not horrible. It's just I don't know. And I'm not saying I want to do like a full engine swap, because for this motor there's a lot of options, and actually I want to do a poll on which route you think I should go, and I've been torn back and forth. You know, there's the LSJ supercharger, the little Eaton M whatever the hell it is. There's that option. They came on the Cobalt SS, the first version of it, and it pretty much bolts directly onto here. The only thing I have to do is make custom mounting brackets for the heat exchanger. The problem with that is it's not super expensive. It's just the fact that looking, and this is from ZZ Performance or ZZP. They have the supercharger kit. You know, it's like I said, it's relatively inexpensive. It's like $800 with everything that you would need, essentially, to just bolt the supercharger straight up to this motor. It's an Ecotech 2.2, which is exactly pretty much what came in the first generation of the Cobalt SS, like I said, and so everything in theory should work just fine. And that, you know, stock pulleys and all that shit. Yeah, get out of my way. Stock pulleys and everything, you're running probably, if I had to guess, probably like between 6 and 8 pounds of boost, which in this car sets you at about just a little over 200 horsepower. which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but like I said, you can change pulleys, you know, you can make more boost. You just have to kind of prep the engine for it a little more, and I don't know exactly what route I want to go yet, so I'm not going to do anything to the engine because I don't know what kind of aspiration I want to do. Alright, cigarette is done. So there's that. There's the supercharger option. Now, the second version of the Cobalt SS also had the 2-liter turbocharger. Now, I don't know that it would, you know, everything would work as well as the supercharger as far as just straight bolt-on is concerned. So this is why I've been going back and forth with it. You know, the supercharger, yes, it's pretty much cut and dry bolt-on. The only thing that worries me really is the fact that on their website, ZZ Performance website, it doesn't have, they don't support tuning for anything lower than or older than 2007, and this is a 2003. So they said pretty much yes, it should work. It should, you know, everything bolts up just fine. Everything should work, but they don't support the tuning for it. So that's kind of a you know, kind of a drawback, but maybe not a deal breaker. Now, like I said, the turbo version of that of the Cobalt SS was much faster. It made way more horsepower, way more torque, and that, me personally, I prefer a turbo over. Okay, so my camera storage was full on my SD card, so it is a brand new day. Obviously not wearing the same clothes, not even wearing the same sunglasses. So jumping back into it, what I was talking about was you know, kind of the ups and downs of the supercharger and the turbocharger for my car. You know, I was getting into the points of, I believe, the turbocharger and how I don't think that it'll bolt straight up like the supercharger will. Which, you know, like I said, I haven't really done a anything super huge like this before, and so this will be definitely a learning curve for me, which is why, as much as I like the turbo option, I kind of think that the safer route for me to go is the supercharger. I'm still up in the air about it, which, like I said, I'll leave a poll right now on which one you guys think I should do. But as far as performance goes, like engine performance, oh hell no, I'm not sitting behind that guy. On a fucking wide load or whatever the hell that is. Nope. As far as engine performance goes, I think that's the best route for me to go is forced induction. There are other options as well to support forced induction. Like I said, this car, or this engine, is the exact same as it was in the Cobalt, so you don't need to do it. But for my peace of mind, I think that I will. You know, they have different pistons and rods and you know, just different shit like that, different heads and head studs, and you know, I want to do that so that I'm for sure, like, for sure know that this engine will hold up as much as I throw at it. And when that's going to happen, I'm not sure, but for now, it'll be stock. I just need really a general consensus on which route to go, because ultimately I want this car to kind of be a sleeper, something that you just do not suspect to be fast, and when you get beat by it, you're like, did I really just get beat by a fucking Cavalier? You know, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. And eventually, you know, I don't know if I'm the only guy that does it. I'm sure I'm not, but I'm the kind of guy that goes on almost learning sprees. I don't know if that's a thing, but for me it is. Learning sprees, meaning I'll find a car that I didn't know was performance oriented, and I will research the shit out of it to learn all that I can, and then add that to my list of options as far as cars go. I used to be, you know, the guy that was, yeah, I want a Camaro and fuck a Mustang and da 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 da. Since then, I've broadened my horizons, and sorry about the wind noise. I've since then broadened my horizon and learned to kind of accept all cars into what I think is cool and what I like. Like I was saying earlier in my other set of video, you know, I used to think, fuck Honda sucks, Honda guys are stupid, and da 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 da, VTEC goes blah. But I mean, the construction of that engine was pure genius. You know, it's almost like, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to get that into words, but it's I think it's cool. Do I think the car culture around Honda is cool? Not really. I do still think that they're kind of stupid, but Hondas in general, depending on the engine, obviously, it's cool. And they make great power. The aftermarket for them is phenomenal. It's humongous. It's almost as big as, if not bigger, than, you know, the LS engines for, you know, anything GM related. And I don't know. So like I said, I'll go on learning sprees, and right now my learning spree is on Volvo. I used to think Volvos were like something a librarian drove, you know, and it was just a boring old, you know, older person's car, but it's not. Like there are actually a lot of different performance options and versions of that car, or car brand, I should say, because they don't have just one car. But I do think that eventually, over time, you know, once I'm done with this build, and I need to kind of just, you know, stick to one thing, because my mind's always like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, you know, to build on for a different platform, and it's not a great mentality to have, especially when you have something that you can build on, but you're not focused on, you know, building that car, because, you know, you just don't get shit done. And that's how I've been for a long time, and I'm really trying to, like, you know, hone in my focus on this car so that, you know, I can get it to a point where you know, it's fun to drive, and you know, it might beat, you know, different cars here and there. I mean, I've raced a couple of cars, but it's not really, they weren't really anything special. Like last night I beat a new Dodge Dart. Oh, wow. So I mean, I want to be able to race this car and beat, you know, more performance-oriented cars, you know, and then, you know, have my time with it, you know, have fun, and then when I'm ready, you know, sell it. I don't know. I've gotten to the point, like, I used to think, oh, you know, oh, there's no replacement for displacement, you know, which is still kind of true, but it's not at the same time. I mean, like I said before, with the Honda S2000, that thing makes crazy power for the size of the fucking engine. So I've kind of gotten to the point where I think that I'm starting to enjoy kind of smaller cars with sometimes smaller engines that can make huge power, because power to weight ratio is everything. You know, you can have a big ass car, you know, that weighs, you know, 3,800 pounds, 4,000 pounds, you know, shit like that, over 4,000 pounds, and it has, you know, a huge amount of power. It's still gonna move out, don't get me wrong, it's gonna move. But if you were to take that same amount of power and put it into something that was about 1,000 pounds lighter, it's gonna be faster. I mean, granted, you have all the supporting mods for that car, you know, tires, suspension, you know, whatever. But, you know, I think that over time, I've been driving smaller cars and been enjoying them. I've had bigger vehicles, not super big. I mean, I've had two Blazers, Chevy Blazer. Well, one was a GMC Jimmy, but it's the same shit. Don't want to get pulled over for that. But, you know, like I said, I've been driving smaller cars, and I enjoy the compactness of driving a smaller car, you know, because you don't need a whole lot of horsepower to go fast. So that's kind of where I'm at. Do I want something, you know, rear-wheel drive V8 eventually? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But for right now, my budget, you know, what I'm working with, smaller is what I'm gonna do. And that's what I'm going to bring to this channel, is something fairly lightweight for the most part, not, you know, a huge displacement engine, but something that's still relatively quick, and that I can, you know, beat bigger cars with. Okay, as far as suspension goes, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the, you know, wheel and tire setup and stuff like that. Obviously, like I said, I want to do a little bit bigger of a wheel and tire setup. You know, 16s, 17s, somewhere, you know, ballpark around there, so that I can fit bigger brakes on this car, and also, you know, eventually put coilovers on, because I don't want to do the, you know, oh, I just put lowering springs, oh, I got decent shocks, but my springs are ass. No, I want to do coilovers. I want to just bite the bullet and, you know, spend the money for something that I know is going to be good. Like, I don't want to cheap out and take the half-ass route and then, you know, have $500-600 ish spent, which is still kind of a lot of money, but it's not a whole lot of money. I don't want to spend that and then have them just shit out on me, 6 months, a year, year and a half, whatever. I want them to last a long time, which is why I will definitely be going with a coilover setup, so that I can fine-tune things and have it ride a lot better. Like, I don't want it to ride like a damn cloud. I don't want it to be super rigid either, to where, I hit a pebble and my fucking car jerks in whatever direction I hit the fucking pebble, but I do want it to be firm. I want it to be fairly stiff, but still drivable, as a daily driver. I want, and obviously with a lower center of gravity, you're going to handle a lot better. But I want this thing, like, I want it to handle like a Miata and make power like, a brand new V6, whatever, out of a four banger. I want to go for at least, I would say max like 350 horsepower. If it goes more than that, shit, I don't care, that's fine. But I think 350 horsepower on, like I said, good tires, great brakes, great suspension. I think that's very doable, and it's still manageable as far as daily driving is concerned, because I do drive this thing every day, and I think that that is probably my best option as far as making this thing a performance car. I think that 350 horsepower out of something that weighs like, I think it's like 2,800 pounds is it'd be pretty fucking peppy. Now, to get there, to get to that kind of power for something like this, it doesn't have as many options as a lot of other cars do, but either someone's smoking some weed or I smell skunk, one of the two. But to get to that kind of power, there's a lot that is going to have to go into it, because like I'm eventually going to have to change the clutch and all that good shit to actually support that kind of power, because the clutch is the only thing that's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back in this situation, because they weren't rated for a whole lot of power. They were never meant to push that kind of power. So that's another thing I'm going to have to do is upgrade the clutch. But for power, if I did go the supercharged route, I'd have to port the fucking blower, port and polish. I'd have to have fantastic heads, fully built internals, and I don't even know how the stock bottom end is going to handle all that. This is all kind of a test for me, and I'm sure I will definitely be doing research on different forums and whatnot, but I think that it's doable. It's just there's going to be a lot of money involved, and to start with the biggest power adder is definitely going to be either the turbocharger or the supercharger. So over time, you guys will see me do these things slowly but surely. And I think the first thing that I want to do is swap the wheels and tires. Then it'll be suspension, you know, then it'll be brakes, then it'll be really whatever comes next. It'll probably be more than likely be a clutch, because this thing needs a clutch anyway, and if I have to swap it, why not swap it with something better? I don't know if they make a short throw kit for this car. If they do, that'd be nice. Like I said, I got a lot of research to do, I got a lot of planning and a lot of money that's going to go into it. So those are kind of my goals and my plans for this car. And I mean, as far as all that's concerned, that's all I got, at least for this car. I've planned out cars I don't even have. So yeah, any comments or any suggestions, leave in the comments. Any ideas, any advice, anything you have for me, you know, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think, you know, if you've done this before. Let me know what kind of headache it was or wasn't. These are things that I need to know. So yeah, definitely let me know, and please give this video a big thumbs up. You know, if you haven't subscribed, please do, if you want, and definitely stay tuned, because like I said, things will be getting done slowly but surely.